Hey YouTube, I am just bringing a battle. It's my first one, so kind of excited. I started off with a Hippowdon lead just to get up Sandstorm because I'm running a stall team. I try to go for the Stealth Rock, but he taunts me. Then I again fall for a bad prediction and go for the Earthquake, so he goes up to a Jumpluff. I don't really know how to deal with it, so I switched to my P2 because I carry Ice Beam. I've happened to battle him before, so I knew this was a sub-seeder. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't getting up a ton of subs on me, because I know Jumpluff, I guess, runs no HP investment so that it can restore as much as possible, so I just didn't want it setting up a lot of subs. So I'm just trying to break his stuff. I switched again, predicting that he would go out as soon as he saw that I had Ice Beam, so I went into my Hippowdon to try and take whatever he switched, but he ended up going into Heatran, setting up rocks. I switched into Tentacruel to try and take a special fire type attack, but it didn't work so well. So I predicted the switch and poisoned his Spiritomb, which was useful. Then I just tried to get rid of his leftovers because what else will Spiritomb carry? He burns me. That's not really that important because I don't really use any physical attacks. I just carry Surf. So I figure I can get some damage on him with an Earthquake, but he burns me again. So I switch in my Bronzong. This thing comes in and runs Reflect, and most Bronzong run double screens, but I replaced Light Screen with Rest for this Blissey because I can then use this Blissey has aromatherapy so it can wake up my Pokemon. I tried to Toxic in case he switched, but he didn't, he stayed in. So I just aromatherapy here to try and wake up my, or unburn my Pokemon, I guess. I don't know why he switched there. He kind of should have pursued it or something like that. But I switched out because I didn't want to deal with Heracross in case he decided to attack me with not Pursuit. I go out into Keisha Fabo to get some damage out for Stealth Rocks, but I end up getting a really, really bad switch, so it doesn't really matter. I come out to Ilshone, and I'm trying to just kind of be able to wear people down with Earthquake. I thought I would be able to hit the Tentacruel with an Earthquake pretty well, but that didn't happen, so whatever. Gyro Ball hits pretty hard because this thing runs a relatively high amount of attack investment, and it's a lot slower. Runs Relaxed Nature, or Sassy Nature, I mean, so it's got almost no speed. I'm just looking to get some damage out. I don't really have anything to deal with Spiritomb necessarily. So yeah, I kind of just decide to trace and pressure stall. This takes a while. So kind of just try and get some damage on him. I'm not really afraid of him switching because the only thing he really has to deal with me is Heracross. So I'm just recovering, just chilling. Letting him take some Sandstorm damage and trying to wear him out. He carries Sucker Punch, which isn't really very common, and gets a crit, so that was kind of annoying, but it doesn't really matter because this is a physically defensive Porygon 2, so it's not really taking too much damage. I predict the switch, and I go for the Thunder Wave. Now this thing carries Encore, and I knew that, and now it's paralyzed, so I can outspeed, so I go for the Recover. He Encores me, and I would rather just stay in and recover because I appreciate the extra HP, especially now that I'm burned. So I just stay in and recover. He gets Parahax, which was convenient. I wouldn't have wanted to deal with a substitute there. So I bring in a Special Wall, and he puts it to sleep because my Bronzong had woken up. So he brings in Suicune, I guess, to try and absorb Surfs or whatever, but I carry a Cradily almost specifically to counter things like Suicune, because this thing is insane in Sandstorm. And I actually originally got the inspiration to use this from a friend of mine that had used it before, and when I wasn't very good, so I really struggled to counter it, so I decided to make one myself. So the video kind of skips right there, but nothing really happens. He sets up a Calm Mind. So here I'm just trying to wear him down with Grass Knot. I know he can't really do anything to me. So I'm just kind of staying in. And he's just also staying in. So he goes for the Surf, and it doesn't really do too much to me because I'm in Sandstorm and Cradily's awesome. So his Suicune goes down, and he switches into Heracross to try and hit me with a close combat. So instead of staying in, I switch to Hippowdon to take the close combat, and it takes it pretty well because Hippowdon's got some good defense. So he thinks I'm going to go for the Earthquake to kill his Heracross, but I predict that and set up Stealth Rocks. Because I know he does not want to lose that Heracross, since that's his only really heavily physical attacker, and Blissey's a huge threat to his otherwise special team. It's not a threat to Heracross. So he goes out to Heatran, which actually carries Shuka Berry, which was frustrating. But in the end, he ends up killing me because he gets a crit. So I just bring in Airport. He can't do anything to me. He taunts me, but I just go for the Thunderbolt because I'd rather kill him. I don't need to paralyze him. So this is a good time to point out that Porygon 2 is a great check to things like Heatran, and Jolteon is something else that it counters really well. It counters things like Gyarados really easily. So I really like having this on my team. So I'm just gonna bring him out. I know that his Spiritomb isn't gonna do anything because his Spiritomb can wall me. So I'm just gonna try and go for Aromatherapy again. Or Ice Beam, just kidding. I guess I was looking to hit his Heracross as it came in on me, because I really don't want that Heracross coming in. I decided to heal up. I figure he's going to Rapid Spin. And here we just kind of enter a stall war because I just keep hitting him with Ice Beam, because I'm really fearing that Heracross is going to come in and try and pursuit me, because I won't be able to rely on Stealth Rocks to eliminate it anymore. So he gets basically free setup. I figure he's staying in, so I Aromatherapy, just so I can get rid of the burn on my Porygon and just to kind of help out. Also, that means my Tentacruel is now awake. So I stay in, Ice Beaming. And this is kind of where I was like, this is definitely a stall team. I don't really have anything that I want to do, so I bring in Ilshone, and I got lucky that he decided to go to Spiritomb right now instead of Heracross, because had he gone to Heracross, he probably would have been able to outspeed me, and most likely would have been able to deal some pretty heavy damage to me. Now, I get insanely lucky here. I crit him with the first Earthquake that I hit him with, and then actually, when I hit him with another Earthquake, it also ends up critting, so that was good. So I go in to absorb the sleep again, and I just wanted to get rid of the Toxic Spikes, because those are obnoxious. So I go back into Ilshone, because I'm thinking I can probably get some Gyro Ball damage up on him. He seeds me, which is annoying, but I end up getting almost 0 damage on him, because I guess now that he's paralyzed, he's very, very slow, so that's kind of a bummer. Now he Leech Seeds my Blissey, which was really pretty obnoxious. I mean, that helps him a lot, because he's restoring a ton of HP every turn. So I go to Snorkel again, and he brings in his own Tentacruel. So right now I'm just trying to wake up. I know Tentacruel can't really do much to me. I don't really feel the need to switch at all. I kind of just want to wake up. I don't want to go to Blissey yet, just because right now I'd rather just take his surfs with Tentacruel. So I'm trying to stay in and knock off his Black Sludge so that I can stall it out more effectively with Blissey. There, the video skipped a little, I'm sorry. This video originally was almost 40 minutes long, so it couldn't all record on the same memory card for my camera. So I had to condense it and knock it into several pieces. So I knock off his Black Sludge. Oh, and there, everything kind of goes crazy. So I knocked off his Black Sludge. I live with 1 HP, which was really nice, and then the Sandstorm ends up killing me. So I know I can just wall his surfs forever. And I figure I can now chip him down with Ice Beams and Sandstorm and just start getting some damage on him. So he sets up the 2 layers of Toxic Spikes. And I go for the Soft Boiled, which I didn't really need at the time. I should have Ice Beamed, because I should have figured, now that he has 2 Toxic Spikes layers up, that he's going to be switching because he knows he can't do anything to me. Now, I get Encored into Ice Beam, and I don't really mind that. I was going to just start Ice Beaming away anyways. He was probably hoping that I would go for something like Soft Boiled or Aromatherapy. So now he's got his Heracross and his Tentacruel left. Now his Heracross right now basically plows through 3 members of my team. And as soon as he started doing this, I figured that I should just kind of go for a bit of an attrition strategy almost. And I tried to switch in things that I didn't absolutely need. So I started kind of just sacrificing my Pokemon to this thing and relying on Sandstorm to chip away the last bits of its health, which ended up actually working really well. Eventually the Sandstorm kills him right here, and it's down to my P2 and his Tentacruel. And I don't know why I recovered. There was really no point. I went up to about 200 something, and there was really no point. I could have just Thunderbolted, but I guess I just wanted to be sure. And at the time, I had forgotten that I had killed his Spiritomb because this had been such a long battle. So I just ended up going for the Thunderbolt, and that's it. Good game, Azul.